Me ne mo ben Dr. Bawumia o maka manu atu maye wona adwene se wo muntu papa ne fo se baby obekọ bia no ne wura ye free ne ho se wonyanya flag bearer but ye papa yi meka ne se wo pre ne ho dodo
wabusua ade ba ko a ewose yin nyina ehunu se de wo ye bia nipa wachira mo do mo ne hwew ana ma hutu bia ne nipa ehwebet nipa nkasa yin se onhwe NPP internal election and not just this time around NPP delegates ne Manford Dona I expose Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia say o will be a bassa yen kasa yen do enum yen tu enum tuo yen jobo obi convince obi a anka beka say Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia e first or kasa papa but odi adwuma hye ne nsa se onya na edin on say Ghana ye system na koye say obi ko school a se onya pass mark na che say wa ben ade eno na manfo wo sa idea no but ne Ghana for do na according to the abeto dwane free education aboa manfo nti manfo na teniema se se untimi nya practical na ya na theory no na ye mfaso pa ba ko ba se che se unya practical aspect na the BHU empo hadwen ni nyina ye ensem a Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia adi to dwa questions are way back obisibisa John Dramani Mahama any the bia lectures for the ba na yebeka se obey vice president kwan a ofa so na economy tete pansam ye kwan a question na obi se obi na afi ono abetena so wontimi solve ye na che se wo Philippoto eno na Ghana for ne NPP delegate I say this time around they are not going to follow him because a bakasapana obey your bonus wontimi enye ho akade nti they are throwing massive support to Kennedy Agyapong Agyapong say indeed ono oka wo ye yes ono okase obeya ono do ompe challenge wo challenge na obeya nti this time no omo hwese said ye na Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia da police nyina no na security break election time my force man for be declare regulation na say onu obi and this time around na NPP say nia ben mu no omo de no kwa baboa menim say they were say mo Jennifer Vim lady afia pokua na ne panels ene omo asunsan Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia ne campaign team no pasa yenyebre na yinti na chawadwen o conversation wo famaye
no kwasam ne say kasa na doso kasa no adoso menimu ne anti a bia na mampanyi dibra no sabe mpredi asampanyufo mu animu a foforo wo saa ade yi 31 January 2026 primary sekese da mu animu a delegacy fo ko gina so de ato abama mo no kwasam a wo mu ne say ma wo focus wo energy channel ni nyina fa ko ho na awurade adom na 31 January 2026 delegacy fo hu mobo na awurade adom na wutumi nya franketu di dibra no a na wasa wujumedi ase ewo campaign a wo pe mampanyi adi wo breko a wunya nya frankatuni mene mo ben Dr. Bawumia o maka manu atu maye wona adwene se wo muntu papa ne fo se baby obekọ bia no ne wura ye free ne ho se wonya nya flag bearer as to say mo beto ma na no mo nto ma no 31 January 2026 ena be kire but ye papa yi meka ne se wo pre ne ho dodo e wo so woto ne bo ase share on this particular issue. I am a Bosomchi MP, former education minister, Dr. Oseye Duchu Maba Montre so trese. So no so a contender. Now some more can say Dr. Bawumia, will patch our pauchaufa, and patch on behalf of the Manyoku. Wakasa patchaufa, and do be say, so Comunina Betty as yes, NPP for Wamoniamo Moya no and Cheye, and your Munina in Kabum Naya Juma. I don't think it's a bedu some purpose way. Na doctor say do to me can say sawo pesa wo pacha on economic mess no go straight to the point and stop beating about the bush, which means to say no cry no error wo ho questionable question mark wo ho. Dr. Bawumia doctor say do to pesa o tira o say now so ye economic messiah wo ba ya bebu nkonta to so tire Ghana for sa wo beboa na sika sama tutu yetumi agina ne na so brane no ye ni ba bia inflation kodu ye GDP kodu ye MPP fo free aban mu ye ni mweka mudigya ekire, which means say wetumi afa kwata anyankwai enti na me too for say akoboni ani diemu na ahobrase mu. Let your focus be on the primary na edam anim no, because so referee wona ya wa say ato abama so ye frankatuni na wo sha ase sebo ekopacha wa emfa nkosi babia kai mu so our contenders Ora Kennedy Agyapong wo ho. Dr. Brian Echampo wo ho. Ora Kwabere Agyapong wo ho. Ora Osei Educhum wo ho. Wankasa mu wo ho. Enti no kasa bebrebe no I don't think say no na be solve near SCA mistakes MPP for mo ye na bi beji atum na bi nyintum na MPP for no mu bi ankasa ni mu say leadership crisis wo ho but o mabu mani aguso knowing very well say niam bi wo ho e wo se wo mutumi puti no in place na ebu MPP amanyoko no obi ayi nani e na obi asori anu oto ayampia at the end of the day MPP 4 person mobile power na kan say ADC fo ahyasie o mu yesei wo mutumi toto o mu niam yie na Ghana fo je o mutumu a MPP for da ban na mo be ba ban mu enti e wo say I'm
surprised because I know the relationship between Mr. Pombi and Onye Kennedy Agyapong. Is where I understand Onye Benina and make a girlfriend in Poa.
Not Dr. Mr. Papa.
Mana, Mr. Pombi.
Yeah.
And
so they Britain I interview for. Now I was some
I'll do that, but I'm saying that the Kennedy Agyapong team are aware there. Kennedy Agyapong, ne bad partner, ne business bad partner is in another person's camp. Why is he not in Kennedy Agyapong's camp? I know your preference, Keke.
No, why? You know, I know what I no choice. Into why no they be sir. Oh yeah, compute for charter, sir. I remember headline.
But is that not an indictment on Kennedy Agyapong there?
Dr. Kasi, also a party crew near Mba Moba. You put my boom, if you are, go to my bay, to my porchata, sir. Porchata, sir. So why no on Dr. Chairman Opombio, porchata, sir. And then we did the onions who Wakasa, BBI fine. Porchata, sir.
And you see, them company, no. Ken on Mr. Opombio and the company. And I know it's one of the many companies that the two of them have. But I know Supercare. Is the company still there? Are they still working in the company?
Pochomer Banua legally, man, one can't back our company as some. Porchata, sir. Into my pebble, no, what make it court. Oh, why they have them? Pochoma. But my brother cast, as some more came. Us then, Abia, Ian 5, Yarkoning, and be able to. We beat NDC in Yoruba. Honestly, Minji, you don't know, Casanova, Dr. Boy, not there. But time you do, it calls for a certain leadership. Okay. And that's leadership. Time they are seizing their all Bible man. Okay. Okay. And to stop, Obia qualified. But Obia when the time of peak.
Okay.
That's Obia when the time of peak. And the border doctor, which is fantastic. So, Qatar. But at that time, no, I don't ban. No, do another time ended an nature. And it's not, it doesn't mean that he's not qualified. I mean, Kennedy Nassam number came. I've spoken about the character votes, being a philanthropist, Elma Michena, and the Yarko, as I came. Said Julius, Deborah, no, you know, say, I said, we can was in a bull. I mean, that Kennedy get a national feeling. The same vein, education besides, Dr. Duchum school. There could be a situation why ye or Ghana ha as in Nina at us. But going out there, as one and Obotum cross over. So that my maintain and this is a day. Obotum no I then or to presidential Nama Kennedy. No mum or ye parliamentary about 2 man you put him no constituent. That is why I'm saying that it calls for a personality. But people are not happy with political parties now because you do not yet one remember MPP, NDC, TPP is on with you about later. But now it's personality come out to actually do for something I call a political revolution. That's calibrate political system. You to wait faith for you. Okay. That person Kennedy. Because oh the baby about the baby about not what's the Tamale teaching hospital. No here plant no I care on Anamoba. Confanochi about also oncology department today. No, I can't say mobile 37 about $3 million, $6 million hearty or Simon. So he's done it all over. Mopata me parliament or parliamentary until once upon 24 years. No, Ghana had it near one yan from a local paywall. Asia Anamoba.
I'm the Libya another.
You know, okay, phone, and you see, then as no yen, our sympathy, but honorism, a compassionate one, oba, or aggression, say attack could be not about, or the buffon of the babo. And see, a woman on task do be so be. No sooner and says that them you pano, say you know, coin this in MPPR, which is then this Fananga with Madame your crab, not say your crop or your acquittal. Ona mo opponent is for example what we can in sim when you bon command out there and uncle brother out there chomuko you problem as well catch on the more for one son compia because otum rebellion. So at this point in time it's the person who can actually negotiate well and then ensure that party MPP but you clean it up ye my youth also ideology when you GC
okay, I wanted to ask you about them Ebufune Deno because that's also one of the things that they say about him. But
a positive aggression.
Oh, but I don't go for the brand then now come on yet.
I don't papa be one also Kennedy no media to Abama na kuma no. No so anya na kuma no to we be wait because some no can at the time no.
Okay.
Yes, we did. Some no but the time no back on your no call no catch you on any day. Until later about new pandem not. Okay, them elder Vilante Yawaye, Yerko, Ablekume. So I them Delta Force moon good, but and this one war happen, no wasn't where I maintain. But when he said I came some, Dobia said they also that Yanka woman, but we're boys when you're party, when you're power. So let's
okay. But Akotia has vindicated Ken.
Blekuma. Atasa. One question is and go want to bond there, yes, you would but 2017, or Casadodo. The last some knock on end. Why then I'm so one more professor, it doesn't make sense. And God manifests himself outside the village and coupon.
Okay. Well, and I to come and say, I don't know more and this we are interested in say Ken and Emra and I win Emra. I am a business.
I connect.
If you Mamma Fasa, I've been
got connected soon be an Achamono.
Oh, David, if you answer, Mamma Butrena, you was in Muye, Mamma Chia, Dr. Dimfi, Dr. Michel. And I said you, and by Vogu, a baby said, and my beer, Nunam Takra, Mamum Takra, Bonum, dear, Freedom Catarapa. We the send can hear some. Again, this before they will send before Nanya, but see them in all kind. You per se, you're responsible opposition. Say, be ya chair on to me at me. Now, then by because me two MP before 4. And the advice I made to the Amomo Pani say, about this time, go suspending all this fragile reason. Now go from Uncle Yejuma. Advice I'm coming to the Amom because as at now, if you are yes, a mechanical say, open political party and Yakono or Africa, Titlu Ghana, MPP. Then a man, yes,
not extreme exaggeration.
Oh, the sanity.
Yakono Africa.
Yes, sanity, and your Akona, MPP count, Mamma Jetcher Munchro. She said, and this year, your baby, yes, a strong opposition. Now, among these 5 individuals, Omo warm second. If you ask what they are, you see, an Omofa Bakwa, the 10 saints of Honorable Ken Agyapong. Offer Dr. Bawumia, your 10 saints of Dr. Bawumia. So offer Dr. Dutuma on Papa no number no one now, the red one, or 1 year and 10 at Tama Yeni and this is what Tama Ghana for. Mamma was to be away.
No, Monday may read here across list.
No, the Mamma was to be say for the benefit of the TFO. Dr. 10 cents of Dr. Bawumia, been said, almost say it is alleged, almost on kind of correct. Almost an Oko Gogola, on a year at Trum now.
And there are more NDC for Namo planting. It is one Namo planting here, and the Mefanya issue, one I'm planting.
Make it as a matter of make
one Namo planting where any issue. As I said, 2016 NDC for so MPP for so planting doom so as a word. Unko good one Namo planting.
It is American in Ghana, say, and now one or more Sekai at Trauma Ghana for. And you know, never 5 Ayabo Mudino, Ayabo Mudino, Umunya fantastic people. No two ways about that. But the better bottom down approach. And by this time, the woman chassis and quasi and patchon and her grassroots. May as I hear came in, Honorable Ken Agyapong or your favorite. Honorable Dutum or your favorite because me teacher ni. Why education minister? You were Bawumia or your favorite. You were Bana Champon or your favorite. But the crew will say, this is not the time for civil contest. This is a time I sang on to me a ginaso and as I'm a common wabum, a CC party, no my party, Nabayakono, party, Abaye, upon my youth. What shall I say? What can me say? Sebi, may make catch us on authority. Say, Omofa, I will be no more Dr. Bawumia, Ken Agyapong, you are Dutuma, Omi no more any day ever born. Because as at now, we are talking about policies. On say, on paper, MPPA attractive, like Kasa, but so Umu say, Omonia Dumana, Ubu said you troka. What I say, she baby, Omodi Ghana, Ekoye. Omodi Ghana, Koyama, Ghana signed the chief 500 years. I am telling you this.
Hey!
Yes!
500 years.
Oh, yeah, man.
Based on what evidence?
More evidence, I made about here say, yet a man 2016, year free and this year free by $1, I say, 382 pesos. 2024, I'm free by $1, qua could do 17 cities. Yet a man, Yabetina Ghana, not a com at Dimabuna, may do baby a 77, nay 101, it be a 100. So in the format in I say, it will be the Diano Pa, a Union no need to be. What I say, yet your mamma 77, Galam said the young was you, yet your mamma and no number yet. Yet your mamma 777 education in the history of Ghana, 2 years. I'm your teacher, and I'm child democracy. If you are 2 years near the textbooks, take it for me. What I say, and the other person in an say, Ghana for so as one sir. Name woman, a woman, but say me 2 MPP. See a person productive opposition now. Omun suspend the way kakra. No more off no more CC party no. Omni Ghana for Gasa. No more Ghana for Acho.
Okay.
What I say because you were a between can be. Also was also chair no 77 over in the educational sector. They bought more money. But economy. You have a time baby say, oh, what a solid team, a management team, economic team. You can count but not a form no any.
Okay.
In this year, baby, you're doing nice.
It was MPP for whoever they bring. I'm the only one bomb against the same get to me.
Debbie.
Against Julius Debrasway.
Debbie. I am
let me be Bawumia.
Fatten you 1.7 million votes a Fiat TNA. When next day you try no more, and you're so working. And the right on the Makacho said the 4 years here, John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency one. And so the year Juma, because Makacho said 42 years, they are told you so. I must have 4 years account, 46 years, MPP my power. I'm telling you this. Until say, obey the need for. What I hear, Mamma San was a movie.
Very well.
Because and the current crop of leadership, they're no more yet. May about with some sort of fair. Me kind of crash or feed the case with so. Almost on the fair, send me the animal. Honorable Ken Agyapong winning. Trust me. But I'm not fair. Because I say, as an number 5 forms, by your nominee, 4 million Ghana cedis. 40 billion. Now, 77 over some Ghana because of one
party, someone Jeffosa, Momo, the amount.
What they say, and also, okay, is this Sika or politics? They say you free. Sikano politics, I'm telling you, and yes, I think you're
what can you be one of the next guy of politics since 92?
No, say, I make a say, you're political equalization. But right now, going forward, if you see, they are we are fantastic journalists, and Besame, you say, you're quite you know. Yes, Sikano, influence.
Okay, very well.
Because, and yes, right now, Dr. Dutum, why minister? The sector or a fantastic. They be a sebio, Sikana on yes, came to have a great Obelusu. Every time they get to a man.
But that's why I'm for baby. I then ask a more entity from Canada, Japan. Is it that more kind of reality on the ground?
Anase moa no munim se Kennedy Japan ba mo betime biti no. Ana mo ne Kennedy Japan connection bi o wana mo ne na ye Japan bi.
If you are Mamma Gassenjo, Yana Cranka, dear Pepaye, Dr. Bawumia.
Okay.
Yana here, because only they say any day be a babon. A matter to surprise you, Manus Brown, babon. Because 7 you bet to me the 10 cents and wide SEO. Obia and then all shifty blame. Obia, honorable vice president, I feel or say, and another rank will go for the year on the one you be. Obia or catch the Ghana say 7 Oba Ghana. Akrabia Benya bank accounts in the first 180 days. Ewa hefa. Obi Ojina Ghana simply so ka say omo ye two abamana one district one down one factory one business and ewa hefa. Obi Ojina simply so ka kire Ghana for say ye two abama MPP for they are going to arrest the city and give the keys to the IGP and they go see say. Okay. And the anybody ye person nanga Bawumia His Excellency in Kaoba. But oh here see there Ghana for air Kasano. Now here see the reality next year. Honorable Kennedy Japan. Sabi, fantastic. Why you do man?
Okay.
And now, why you grassroots man? I am telling you this. What is why grassroots man? But the American say, "Abanomo don't fenchen." Enti, anya do berini. Okay. But then say, "I am a report to be said going forward. No to the baby after cross of politics."
Aye, okay.
They are all, but the American in say you have strong opposition. And to say you bet to make 2 MPP 4. Now some go bet here, how many emotions and don't change. Not the any NDC 4 can say, Omni Asio for Ngokasa. Omni Asio for Ghana 4 because I never one another way. I'm not a prophet. Mameka Simbi Yami, a mammy, and Chirofia. Nyame catch them and say. Say Ghana for to me and MPP bet my economy man. I said His Excellency Nanado a pagan for natural. Let me see.
When you talk about me pay, what do you want again?
When your political aperture.
Okay. Very well. Now move free power no move free power 2060 move a patch. Oh that be part of on confirm na 2 year no. Anyone when you move a patch.
Yes, answer me na yentro.
It is another time a patch for free SHS ana.
Oh, that be free SHS was a fantastic policy.
The other no patch. There be about the policy they are perfect ana.
Me jitu. But if you share the MPP na kono someone watch what they na kono
okay, you
because they are already Ghana airport.
I think it's a robot to Canada or use to listen for Choma. Time to come say. Found the best and the best.
I almost an argument. Uncle Charles, my boy, Dr. Agyapong. Or see, I didn't fair, not a fair frank on Kennedy Japan, but Momo Cramo could join Kennedy Japan class so mobile and busy for no. Julius Zebra, how no, saying get on Babomo. How do you take that for Momo as Munianama Money compete very keenly since 1992? A multi-party democracy. How do you take the okay?
Yo, I'm saying, Philip Ayaba Okasano Toku, also a teacher ni. A teacher ni the no name Juma Soa, Doctor Yao said Duchum, Ebeye. Teacher ni the Ohunioma, Dr. Duchum, any policies or the buy. In fact, Mokasa say earlier and the galam say. To the end, Sanko, but the person train a fiane or a tear for in Adrian said Galamsey crown policies at Dr. Yao said Bichum, a waha, or dear Guaquem, nor the bar Galamsey, ever fix Galamsey easily or Ghana has. In fact, a near education, Kwana or Wahun dear, and also no or strategy, the back cut pipeline to Galamsey. And all Galamsey, baby, air corning and I'm ranting to be I know a statue or Smikwaku 2A. Now, CBB to sell prosperity centers across all the districts in the country. Now, memoir and youth ninya and Yumaya, in fact, and Ubet Miabwa. And I simplify license and name normal policies be a dear Guhona. But the Minia cannot see a Kennedy Japan, any Dr. Yao said, Ebuma. Meaning say home and a Kennedy for any home sell mummy boom, but the all can in fact menene nyadwene. Dr. Yao said Richmond Kwa who deno yeka Asiedu Nketia Honorable Neyeka Ato Forsen Julius Debra nyina akra boma omuntimi Dr. Duchum esa se Ghana fo hu nioma waye ene nioma obetimi aye midika kan yesi asuma obanyansafo yensuma anomontenten papa da adwuma wabeye ne de woni tirimu a opeso ye no Ghana fo ebeto na omubegina tum NDC de in fact me amehwe NDC in fact 24-hour economy and in Yoma be bro mukain no eya trodie e no mudi Ghana for. In fact, the only thing at NDC ebetimi aka se omaye within 9 months na a dollar ya no kra no matimi say the growth of the dollar no compared to the growth that were MPP time no so more time in fact dollar no baby e corner serious because you see I started a galopo kakra aside that no dear babium ena NDC betimi aka se omaye enu tini minim se 2028 the NDC bedi nkuguo kwan bia so ombelusu Ghana fo nyina ebompa ese MPP beka omo ho abom na aye akono very united na party na aye akono ama obibia timi abejoine na omo contest ni nyina de obetimi de sa unism na ba efia Dr. Yaw Osei Duchum. See this comment ya buy ya sticky in position. Say be no the on sticky apology. What to say a campaign or be any camp be atem. What to say any of our communicators. Now me mobile officer, your offices be Bre East Legon, Uko Kumasi, Uko Kaswa, Uko Central, Western, all over we have offices there. And I go there, communicators say, oh, you know, mini omushia, or be anyhow, Becca say Tubia. And the Honorable Kennedy Agyapong ultimate Casentiano. When it comes to Dr. Bawumia, ultimate Casentiano, and I make sure so Bian Casentio Bia. So comment pet no bibet miaka say Bia. Dr. Yaw said to Meka and Amagana for assume. And unism, what party in Bia. O Bian him said Dr. Duchum Nedibeba. Last week, I war office and I'll be friend or say tea. I dear Cosunina. Who say o boss Dr. Yaw said Duchum nebetimi de unism aba party the mwana and or church me almost see na apostle let's just say Dr. Yaw said Duchum na obia etweno uko busumpwe uko central region uko Ashanti region uko Volta all the regions obia ekase Dr. Yaw said Duchum and ne ho akono a obetimi de unism aba MPP mo ama ye wini entie de ye ne obia ni nkika we na uko Dr. Bawumia camp, Oko Brian Champ, Oko Honorable Kennedy, Oko Miami Nia Agyapong camper. Ubia Bekacho said Dr. Yaw said Duchum campaign on Maran no is the most decent campaigner Ghana has ever witnessed, and the night after democratic rule, no, and no, and I the best campaign. Obian who bit me attack you be. Now me communicate be a oko attack you be a me throw then we'll put you on suspension and I won't cassette you. Debbie, because a party back. I didn't know cassette you be because we are going against the tenets and the principles and the values of MPP. And only it hadn't know cassette you be. And it's in social mass see any day. Or this unity ebepa party ne mobia nim said Dr. Yaw said Duchum ne drew on so and the vice obey ne de ye bedwene ho ye pese wi ansa ene adwon timi nua toku enka Kennedy emoye diem sesi a na ye nwene ho Kennedy so enwene ho se one ye ne beko but Dr. Duchum e de be win 31st January.
I see. Well, Uncle Charles, more say. Because what he's saying is that no, even what they can impose Bampa, they will win against you people because you don't have money policy. Yeah.
Tukwa.
Toku no okay. All the NDC for now are ready for you. But no matter who you bring, you will not win.
Wake masembi ya cho GC na simultaneous equation. Na minyanku bi ocho bi ada. We are no cumulative frequency flag newa. No couple bi to we okay see graph in the trace. On the orchestra not there. Or better than 42 years. 42 years, the calculator 4 year term, no 10 and a half terms. Into one equation when wrong. Into one so equation wrong. O graph in wrong was 90. Thank you. Into some more can into Dubia and do. But I
check the Japan persona and the record that he has set from time about parliament now they like politics in general. Now offense is said Nketia. Anna Julius Debra, Anna our friend then Harun Drusu. Would he survive?
It's you see now political dispensation. It's not a political party anymore. I keep saying that because MPP no NDC no Ghana for NDC be wa ben West. The dollar doctor could artificial into I start to gallop.
Yeah.
Galamsey.
World Bank I want a government on it.
Thank you. Galamsey. In terms of President Mama or man as below your legacy in your states man or Ghana. Galamsey some okay on a major document now abroad. A reader then some are okay in our gold board and some may read amo. Excavator track in Makamo. All I'm saying is that that means something now artificial. A bone there, politics and project set to make us say. I mean, for the past 6 months, 7 months, men catch about governance. Because when they come in, you have to allow them to perform. It's about 24-hour economy. There was in a big push. They need otherwise you're near shame. It is a way you're not so or you Ghana will benefit from it. Hence, you have bias able to my idea. Into on the national can I mean, me feel that job can and the national can match all kinds of lamentations. He still lamented about the things that MPP did. And what told about 4 years now, what I'm on in the year September, 9 months. A good lament. And so, what to abandon? What have you done so far? But MPP, maybe I am dying, maybe I'm survive. Kennedy will win or a grassroots person the day. I know behind I tried. Now, to them, it is not the political party,
but it's the personality of the person.
Personality.
Okay.
Here, no be change. No, I'm a political party. Why then? No, I contribute.
Okay.
Because leadership no bar or be change because your party from national region they to them to cocaine. I agree with him on that one too. There's Casamna Dawson. Inti Obifi Abrichu or Bande, no dollars kakra. If you're catching bank no but no win the primaries, not a member of parliament. And then gradually need deplete your quality in parliament. So Abandama honors or satisfy grassroots but internationally I didn't catch on bibi on from Bremana or no abe and abadi bibi katskati because nalan on say azina or nasi. And so the means of I am 1 year. Next year, international stage now, where we compete with other nations for our country to be wherever now. On in America, the personality here Kennedy. On to maybe if Ashanti region, another if the missing or a character votes. Character votes in the sense that we were you as in Obi Kennedy say, now come you Kennedy name as in Obi what should vote to them or but they were not your personality about Elder Rollins. Jerry.
It was more of his personality too, yeah.
Exactly. As I said, Kwame Nkrumah was more about his personality. My friend Lim Kuan Yew, personality. Anna Mobwa, Jemma Mao, personality. Winston Churchill, personality. And these people, at every point, they come and recalibrate the political system. No, so they take over. Into MMS in the year, can you there? Yaboko, Obiara could be qualified. But qualified doesn't mean that you can cross the line. Okay. Across the line, I see because Kaneze, Julius Debra Kaneze, Obiaba Kaneze, which is good. But that's we hear stronger political opposition.
Also unifier.
But on that dynamics in and me when I'm talking politics on radio and TV, I'm in common strategy. Now we impair I had India, President Mahama or Krokono Aban or Sana could be Manamoba. And every time we're back, there was Nipa for was in Anamoba.
For the reanimator.
That be so where you leader for Anamoba. Constitutional bear while about President Mahama from going for another term.
Yes.
You're going to bring a new person. That new person as opposed to MPP. So what paying that to them big push wire? Galamsey will solve BBI wire. Those are the things that will mark them on. But some people the CC happen. Motuma away the free mom on free rider case next year. They are charging.
Okay.
But when they do well, we also delve deeper as a political party.
Okay.
With Kennedy leading us to bring the best to the country.
The question I Kennedy band they'll find S. Yeah, feel to find the S. Can Ken himself find the S?
I saw
S no one.
Say us today, say President Mahama, 1 million votes, no, okay, take here 8 years. Na 1.7 million votes, no. It means find it, so maybe 16 years and I'm
8 years old.
That be President Mahama, no 1 million, no. Until 8 years of fear. Formula, like Yakra 9 says, what brain 1.7 million.
Okay.
Into to the nearest thing, not to the idea can take 16 years. Mopatata, sir. X areas in Abadino X moon. On the marble body, industrialization, day, pragmatic leadership. That those attributes, the qualities of a leader that people are looking for. And Ghana, that chance, you put your binyan and Anamoba.
Okay.
And you see, if he's saying that, that means or not here, a community, sir. Obi man, 11 o'clock, no man, wabi, Juma. What one, also, I'm a break. Break rock or kids for Fuba, Uncle Bium, or say China. Abrochi, Juma, 8 o'clock, late, bear 1 minute, 2 minutes, what to 15 minutes, whisker the Anamoba. Late 15 minutes and above, what to half an hour. Into some clocking system, no, but ministry.
Okay. Until all that them started now, it's in the S now. What the banner. So it means that he has already figured out the S.
Now about I won't pa. Obi always said question when you answer that.
Okay. That's true. That's true.
That's true. Okay. Yeah, said question. Yeah, answers no.
Okay, Dr. Gabo. I see S ni mo ho e wo Canada Japan ho. And I'm waiting to find the S chrono. But they have already figured out how to find the S.
That be nice the formula, Baba.
S ni there, and notice all share your brand na. You say a duchum factor, and X is the factor. And in Nipo bet me anya X na bani a duchum.
Oh, okay. The duchum factor equals X.
Yes. Educhum factor, and it stands for a lot. To find X, you need a special character, which is a factor. And into the educhum factor, honor X no. You anum be to say I can 9 pay. And also ewo. Na sad 9 no. Doctor ya said educhum, and a binya sad 9 abesos. Amana bros. Yedi nim say 9 no. Na 9 can equate to 1.7 million votes. And looking at certain it could equate to a lot of votes. But what I say, and looking at Ghana politics, the dynamism, Oshomwa Sisiano, and I make us say a Brebiani leader or Moshe. Vim lady, I'm sure say you confirm with me on that the leadership style we need now, no. So we share Dr. Yao said with the transformational acumen and that qualities no one to go and find the X and the 9 extra no will be easier. Pachoatia says, so China no omupe the omupe so munya obi obetimi age China siwo. So in this equation, I could say China needed X and China wanted extra 9% to get to where they were. They looked for somebody called Sean Zempin. And aside Zempin, only leadership qualities, and then more China, every group be a Madrid. Because to quite for Japan, Okopi Japan, Japan developed so much. And also quite bad soon I'm fire and develop it. I say, look, you training teachers and you training for just to study mathematics and engineering. And your call back, and Okobwa China more find X in what regards? And Obama China a trainee students. No one start or trainee teachers or starting from curriculum, or some curriculum, because those days not China curriculum, they see Japan for class say the earthly evils. And to know anything historically, now they don't want to talk about Japan here. Some curriculum, ultimately be shame maths and other stuff, any engineering. The same method or concept, and a doctor ya said at the airport. And this leadership style, it means China, the man has it. Who share the way of CA school, say, well, I approach any the Wapaye or her, any normal Gusuna. Nothing can attest to say. Nothing can detect, say, Dr. Yao said, which you may know, a bit me, I find it excellent. You can reject that aspect. You know. And you know, no limit me find the X. And maybe based on what I know and being with him and the qualities he has, you know, he is the only person he can find the X and the extra 1.7 million. Guess what? They are all floating voters. And let's talk about how floating voters can be moved to a certain camp or a certain party. You have to be one. You have to be very disciplined. Two, your integrity values has to be high, and also you should be somebody seen as being 21st century leader. And you can't go beyond Dr. Yao said when it comes to 21st century. The man is very innovative.
No, you that's the conclusion. You said you have the that's the first conclusion. That is the highlight. I think
no,
that's the
first formula not that can be no.
And then what the formula
answer here. Azamiti, Kennedy one. On the make the first way theories, Ricardo, David Adam Smith did. Kennedy, no formula or the basis. On the what's the Obiadi said, Dr. Duchumbe, on the make sure there. Sisiano, Obodu baby Kennedy be the president. Rather than Kofubo using Kennedy as a theory.
Okay, how that Kennedy developed that equation, it shows what he can bring to the table. That's okay.
I start time.
Okay, Martha, my mom was Uncle Charles Missy. Okay, the S is with Ken. Dr. Mitchell, they are not just finding the S, because they have the S. But they will also bring the money. No, Dr. Duchum, then they also one they have the S, but they are also bringing the 9 and they are also bringing the 1.7 into where develop one strategy, you know, further.
The man or two.
And another when they say what I said, almost find the S into to bonum find the S. Why?
It's the fear, Mamma Gassam Joe.
I am a call from what Casa we are called as time or Munkasa. Yeah, next time. But we will continue to talk about Western region because I mean Western region that Makoma super. Because apart from gold, now we have already deprived Western region of the oil money. Oil, no. I was one of the people I remember 2010.
Yes.
Advocating for 10% of the oil resources to go to Western region specific.
Yes.
No gold now Sabi JPC gold refinery and we are doing it in Accra. It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me. We must all make noise there. Either it goes to Western region, Eastern region, or Ashan. It must go back to the people. Cocoa clinic or Accra, gold house or Accra. It doesn't make sense. It must go to the regions.
Sister, when they come to Western region, I think they mean Ben Charles also. I think they said that we first time, no.
Yeah, better.
Because I never come to Western region say, you pet like Yanin Kabum. I am telling you this.
But we must force them Kabum on that for we must force in Kabum, no. We must force it because
I think it's
Western region, ain't it? When somebody election, you must ain't it, but dear Masanke. It's not good.
I think it's another form of resource curse. It's a issue.
Yeah. We will do that
it's
on another
dimension of resource curse.
Yes. See, my mentor when now I say, Uncle Charles na Nana Tokuna, Nakupon Show, I say, and I'm joining discussion. And my Uncle Charles, thank you so much for joining us on this Galamsey issue. Crocs, Nana say, Mama, good evening. So, or comment be on this.
Yeah, Sister Pia, thank you so much.
Yeah, me too.
Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. I've been trying to get on your platform forever. I hope say the politicians know Omuti. So the issue on Galamsey, it's lack of leadership across board, straight up. Looking at it from every side of the divide, we don't have leadership in Ghana. Basically, we don't have leadership. With my little study on leadership, I realized that is the problem we're facing in Ghana and basically in Africa as a whole. Indeed, it's lack of leadership. If any leadership decides to solve the problem, you don't need 1 year, you don't need 10 years, you don't need 2 years. You can solve the problem. The Biamika say,
and you got 8 years and Kabay today, you be actually said, Galamsey, no deal with it.
Way more. I mean, even with this 8 months or 9 months now or more, they could, if the government, if we have leadership, the government will be able to do something. We may not see the immediate effect, but we will see the pragmatic programs and projects in place. It's working to alleviate the problem.
Okay.
Leadership, it's Debia Obika said leadership is the cause, and every other thing is an effect. So leadership is paramount in setting the tone. So I say any discipline is animal. If you study humanity, societies, discipline and structure does not come from the people. It comes from leadership. Leadership sets the structure and enforces the structure. And also it's leadership. Straight up, whether NDC or NPP. For pointing out, say there is corruption here. And because of that, you could not be successful in fighting Galamsey. I mean, to me, it does not make sense.
Okay.
You know, and the whole issue is lack of leadership. And they, especially the Canadian camp, especially, they like to do politics of dishonesty, which sometimes looking at all the people,
Dishonesty, saying.
Because some of the things they say, especially about Bawumia, they know it's not true.
Okay.
Telling the people say Bawumia is a liar. I mean, we all know. If we are going to list lies, all the politicians. I mean, all the politicians in Ghana.
Officially, Minty Sane can't focus about me a liar. I think I'm say I'm sorry, Ophelia, and Baminti say liar.
I've heard it from a couple of people from his camp talking about the fact that he's a liar. And he said he was going to do this, he couldn't do that. And they know the truth. They know why he couldn't do it. They know. What you call it? Dr. Bawumia was not in charge of anything during the time of the 8 years.
Anything, cry was not in charge. Yeah. You know what
they claim that he's the head of the economic team, which was not true. We all know. I am not part of government. I am sitting from afar.
Economic management team. That's what the say he was chairman of the management team.
Most of the decisions they took without him.
Okay.
It was just a name, a title.
Nobody came to tell us when he was in government. He took the decisions without him.
Because he's part of the government. It's like you're watching your dirty linen in public.
Okay.
I mean, and they know. That is why I believe that they are doing politics of dishonesty. And the final thing I want to say, the fact to say, Dr. Ditchum, one of the favorite people, some of us who are looking for honesty and leadership in politics in Ghana are looking at. And on people that clean slate. I know, say the issue now, when they key statement to say, Pachoa or no one can. I'm pretty sure, say they went back and realized, say, Ogufui, internet, they are trying to find a nice way of dressing the whole thing up. Because as leadership, you take a collective responsibility. Even saying you take collective responsibility. And then they actually devised a good strategy to explain to people, say, yes, we're proud of the apology, but we want to say education. And if anybody would be able to fix the issue of Ghana and put us on the track to development, education should be paramount.
Okay, very well. Well, and
Dr. Duchum, I'm looking at him to say I don't trust any of the politicians, so I can't say that he has my trust. But I'm looking at him. He's caught my interest, and I believe that if all goes well, and he takes on the mantle, I'm hoping said he would not derail from all the things he says he's going to do. But one of these things I want to plead with you for us to talk about leadership. And we'll realize
we've been talking about leadership for a while, but I can bring the topic back so that we can talk about it.
Yes, please, because most of these people don't fit into the criteria.
Okay, I'll bring it back. I think I'll see the next 2 weeks. It'll be our topic now. We can discuss it again. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, next 2 weeks. So, trust I should say, yes, sir. Yeah, good evening.
Stevia. Good evening. But I want to say.
In Mr. Bandam Pacho so light and so person casa because where you my sumwa and I sit up my come on.
And you made it the best abo basso because the Juma ye did. Nipa kakra bi bit me, I mean, a bit me I will stand it that and from my boy, only tough skin and never go on more to me. You know, yeah, I mean, it's good to be having good people like you still around because you've been in the terrain for over 20 years and they all can be anonymous. I am going for back comment session no more church. I mean, hey, now my sister we or started yes and to my I wouldn't say they are now be a family deal. I wouldn't step here. I mean, fast forward. Let's look up the issue of this Galamsey menace. It's been a while now, but I am a bindi aba or try the possible best to say or be regulated amanya sanity enkofa oyuni bia anything enfamba that notwithstanding no they say to my phone step here over the past 4 or 5 years say odo ani ato for me pa the level of thinking of Ghanaians as some among stories be more because politicians they've kept doing it over the period of time. They say no obi abehu omo antis na wata tisa omo de omo deba. In the Galamsey issue in my candid opinion I think say a collective effort. A collective effort. Jai blame games whereby obey yes. And this for say it's barely 9 months and almost exhausted all the protocols and all the powers of making media stop you anyway. We shouldn't be calling for a state of emergency as at this time. But me tell me me nipa bi wonu ma asema be kan ne no. O kasa no hwedie because ochine bi no ebitima ko fasa asam na side aba.
Okay.
Timena na catch him say ubi on na ni pe kasa hweka say fi won oba na sa kasa ni betimi asa afafa e aba be dina wani more opposition na more to me no more condemn I mean abaya na our power because most of my feeling and me wan say ko fu bi akeka man no atum e was asem we say but me na politics dey obi petumi a Draw. I mean, I'm President Mama Quack and say politics in the you can't draw a crack, near kind of crack. I know the in the first word no, share resource never Ghana. And a Jumasuni Ghana, what I say, and a manco for the youth especially. I'm among a two busua or more, even though financiers no honoma or more discussion but omono untimi ko hu say nipa we na behind you the offer countries which say Nigeria, Sierra Leone, Venezuela, Angola, the Democratic Republic of Congo omo nyina no omo natural resources go senka all these countries go senka develop but e dey ntina emo untimi develop then we me factors affect leading to resource scarce be a corruption, Dutch disease. O2 me that disease no. O2 a good in the raw state now. Then you export it.
I don't wrap it up my time no.
I'm a wrap up baby. Into no. No. Yan kan yung baby a bedroom no. Ya tra ye blame each other no yen kan ye humbo step ya collective effort collective effort na ye nyina ye hu kwan be so a am ye de be save Ghana because I think that the recent happenings in there enya de ye nika kra medasi
Back to Mammy now, I see baby. And I come back, good evening.
Sister
But it's
Via
you.
Medasi, me chia
Yes, that.
busia fuina. Enema ngreman kebeye me yapa. Dear ma me ba ye ne ye brother na oda so a o son da ye no. Ne nisu nyante no no. NDC ni no. Hwe MPP ye kan bi. Eka se MP Nanado winning 2016. Eka se NDC beba bi ma this 2080 mu ho ena no obeba. Na ye nimse 40 years. Ba me problem a me wo MPP mu ne se ye enkabo mu. Hwe MPP fo so asemu a omu gemu no dene. Ti se ye papa bi kasa ewo radio so wa America da bi o Canada Japan ayi kese on de waye na adwen se Canada Japan no enye Canada Japan a eni papa bi ani MPP mo eno ni me problem ba senka wo hwemu a NDC ba nanka niema wo mo se wo mo beye no o ma faili totally Oma fairly one district, one factor, and MPP for ye. Almost the 24-hour economy, but up to now, ye munu baby ekusi. And the teachers a year examination a womu tra or casu will become and then teachers na start here or more casano. So, but problem Ghana for ye war, and they say obi timi deny adwene ebe da ye ni etie no. Because ni enim say yewura Don Mahama enye no kure no woka no. Ontimi mu o man no. Woni ideas bi edi bu o man no. Because baby ananado de o man ni koduru ye no. Say ye nya obi te say Bawumia toa so a enka Ghana nke ye duru heaven. Enka ye duru anigye krom. Nanso Ghana for entie. Say hwe cities no. Mo UK me stopo ya na me sendi sika edeko Ghana. Enso na no duru 1795. Na bi mu kura ye 18. Ena master tia me sa ye me project. Etiba for message ai. Efri se eye na da eye azan ena omode ye CD no because dollars ne tiba from eniema de ye nte so. Enti NDC for ma wo mo nso da ye say Ghana for ye adwini mu omre to the sense say de wo mo ye no omumuni some people timi de 1 million BT wo mo a ene de 1.5 for BT nti de enti Ghana for ni obiem ye de omo ye ni ye a ye bebo o ma baso o ma anye ni ye a Ghana for omo be kire wo mo ye fa so
Nana, when I was so comment out there, Brabanda, good evening. So when him na you huni pakro.
But so who many?
Meaning so that no who I be boa. Oh, Bra Michael, they don't say, aha, I better, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But on the show, good evening. But I want to say,
but you're here. I did you.
Okay. Really, I'm say, Osha, Obia, other platforms, you may be Obia by everybody's doing politics. Now, minimum politics, any idea, I had the bonnet in your politics, but any no qua and a teacher of mine. Say, I'm no say, no Germany or Cologne, I'm no Casano. I'm so beka my about platform so da buy and be politics ni bia that time na me kasama Bawumia. But the chances are me jun so Argentina say to about we Ghana after election or not the next campaign for the next 4 years election has started. It means that yeah or mine to say politics in Kwana the most important thing. Me ye juma our health sector. Adeba kwa mahu ni say
but you can't pay your voice, mamma. Kababwami.
but otiminka.
Aha, but voice will look cry.
Sisi auti.
Mete.
Okay. And then remember base kakra. Na me kase ye to aba o Ghana. Ye to aba wi ya ye declare obi a wa win no. Sadana na yɛhyɛ ase na prepare towards the next 4 elections. Nti yɛdɔman no ayɛ amanyɔsɛm. Bibia wokɔ na kɔbɔ wakora na yɛpɛ amanyɔsɛm party bi kyɛ de ahyɛw. Na so ɔbɛkae a meba platform so some time ago na me campaign Samuel Dindini de Bawumia. But besides Trasa me Johnson no. Again na me timaye edi abo Ghana as a citizen. Because yenina ye responsibility towards Omani Puntu. Now the back one as channel so say there were a lot of yare chronic disease, BTC as yare, BTC pressure, any come a kun for because of the low level of publicity and also education or Ghana, people will they don't know say be a yare crash and ebia nsakaya bi ba ne body mu kura na or find say normal or swat and answer bia let's say typical symptoms like asecheyare unum so and answer ujun so no bia ba hum no it's not usual.
2 point na so 2 parties the angel politics near can eno ana.
I'm not saying say angel politics totally. I mean say politics
the politics so near can health issues.
Until me say no anka ade ba kwa anka mpese me tu onim say I will be ready and prepared.
Program where they political program program outline or the mommy politics. Sometimes some health issues here even health issues here political issue. Because the politicians they determine the policy. No more your parliament approve budget.
Yes.
How is it? We also a timing of near money is no almost primary. So we can't afford but to talk about this after that, then we can table health.
But in this point, no, yes, I don't so. Is not necessary. No, that's not what I'm saying. Sebia, some program maybe in between, and I say. You should be some 10 minutes in Boko. It should not be any 30 minutes because people have
to this is my boss. But that's why me that your program can't help. In Lady View, I have friend Abigail Ashley on the health because or a kidney survivor. Okay. Some on the everyday and I morning show so they be a camp within one.
Then let us continue that.
The other programs by program morning show be your segment.
So sister wait
your farm say your politics because I want to hear area my reporting about politics over 20 years. So
Minim say oba takwade a umbitwa umbawo national health service. Say me takwade. I know all this things. But what I'm saying is
my boss, but you will be answering na ho. Me area ni why?
Mate.
Me catch my boss. But I will share with you the other programs so I can help us so why?
Okay, Mate.
Mami now. Okay. You. Brad Rich good evening.
Evening Stefia.
But me
too. Me to mo asem kakra. Me MPP party woman. Obia Bawumia von Kwan, Omno say, or money in leadership. What is more ridiculous? Any me brabunzu, or because say, or Babijina Swa. That's what to try Ampia, Emma Kennedy was where they. Our person say, came from Kwana, Bibiano, ye complaining. Now, Ubisbekaza will do America on the Bibiano or saying a Kenna. Or me supporting someone can almost someone Tiana. Almost to meet, I can say, we can get we in this. Yana converted that at the Grumara. Saying you to vote before the Edessa. They say, Nyachumutino, I did can't do it, can't Uta can't Tibia, the lady of Brothers in this Uncapating Ubi. Okabom young Guana, we in some want to mimic again or Mate. In some came in some Mate.
Okay.
In some of my point, I can Omate. I don't know before I need to be leadership. Marco College will be I'm going to book. It's going to leadership. Leadership number of workers, you never be. And yeah, Omobano Mokaza, Omon Kandibo, maybe tonight.
Okay.
Then the young candy can't be tonight. The young Momo Kwam intimidate to be as a on the veteran Yanka. It will be an in ɛnyɛ ayi ɔmo na bɛkyerɛ bibia ɔmo Bawumia yɛ nakɔ wafeeli ɛnɛ deɛ ɔno bonsuse an na Bawumia nyɛ in charge in charge na one resign no ɛnɛ sɛ yɛsi bibia ɛwɔ na ɛyɛ edu economy deɛ na ɔnyɛ in charge ɔka sɛ nkwadaa ogoro ma ɔn obi anyɛ nkwadaa o nti ɔmo nya deɛ ɔmo yɛ no obi antwe mu obiara yɛn ka no korɛ no wafeeli nyɛ fo ba fi fɔm ra yɛn fa no mra ɛsoro ɔmo na ɔmo nya bibi bi obiara yɛn nyɛ bɛtɔ one abano one.
That is true, Mamina. Michael, good evening.